The taxi journey home seemed to last an eternity, which was nowhere near long enough for me. I felt an oppressive, suffocating guilt about everything that had happened. I was dreading seeing Natasha again and also worried about how Olivia would feel when she read Bennett's latest text. It was totally irrational of me to blame him for any part of what had happened, yet still I did blame him. Why had he had to make the terrible situation I'd created so much worse? Why, when faced with competing options of what to do, could he not have done the right thing? Why did he have to be such an arse? Was it, as the scorpion said to the frog, simply his nature? The house was almost completely dark when I walked in. Looking up the stairs, I could see a faint light peeping out from behind the three-quarters closed door of our bedroom. Natasha was probably sitting up in bed, reading, looking forward to hearing all my news. And I still had absolutely no idea what I would say to her when I saw her. I rifled through the Post on the table, annoyed at the staggering ordinariness of it all, reminding me I was back in the real world of bills and junk mail and putting out the dustbins on a Sunday night. I took off my shoes, picked my way through the dark living room into the kitchen, and ran a glass of water from the cold tap. I gulped it down in one draught, then decided I needed a pee, so I popped into the downstairs toilet and took my time emptying my bladder as quietly as I could before washing my hands as if I was scrubbing up for a delicate operation. Then, bereft of further reasons for delay, I climbed the stairs with all the perky enthusiasm of a condemned man walking to the execution chamber, opened the bedroom door, and prepared to meet my fate. Natasha was propped up on her pillow, fast asleep. The book she was reading, this month's book group selection, hung limply in her right hand, a thumb wedged uncomfortably in the crease where it had tried to close, saving her place. She was still wearing her glasses, and her soft brown hair had fallen forwards, half covering her eyes. She looked at peace, as if she had gone to bed without a care in the world. I made no attempt to wake her, grateful to put off even longer the shattering of her delusions. Carefully, I prized the book from her sleeping hand and placed it on her side table. Then I turned off the light directly above her head and replaced it with the weaker glow from my bedside lamp. I tiptoed into the children's bedrooms just to look at them as they slept. Helen was lying exactly as I imagined Natasha had left her, not a hair out of place, her duvet perfectly even and tucked up crisply under her chin like a floral pie crust. By her head lay her favourite teddy, a souvenir from a previous trip to New York, now worn in places from too much loving. I wanted to hug her and plant a kiss on her perfectly smooth forehead, but didn't feel I had the right. How could I use the lips that the previous night had wandered all over Olivia Finch's illicit body for such a precious assignment? I watched her breathing for a while, then muttered a quiet good night and left. Entering Matthew's room, I was greeted by a totally different scene. He was spread-eagled across his bed, his limbs arranged in a casual swastika. All his bedclothes were on the floor, his duvet, pillow, and even his undersheet. Perhaps he had woken in the night in the throes of a terrible nightmare and thrashed around wildly, waiting to be rescued. Or perhaps he'd gone to bed still pretending to be a spaceman or a dinosaur hunter, and somehow managed to strip his bed in the midst of the action. Matthew was a deeper sleeper than his sister, so I risked stroking his hair as I lifted his head to replace his pillow. I recovered him with his Thunderbird's duvet and left the room. He would have to make do without his sheet tonight. Finally, I went into the bathroom, stripped off my well-travelled clothes and ran a bath. After I'd brushed and flossed my teeth and scraped my face with an